Hey friends, welcome back to our Tuesday series. I am so glad you're here. We have been doing this whole house declutter and get some new routines, some good healthy habits for over 2 months. That is a good thing. You are much further ahead than the people that chose not to. That's a good thing. You're moving forward. You're going somewhere. You're not staying stuck. You're not staying stagnant. You're moving. That's something to celebrate. We've journeyed through this together. We're finding ways to declutter our house, move our bodies, and bring some peace to our hearts and minds. So today we're celebrating renewal, not just in our homes, but in our very spirits. So before we dive in, I just want to say how blessed I am to do this time with you. These days in particular are one of my favorites to be able to connect with you. Whether you're joining me for the first time or you've been part of this community for a long time, know that you are loved and valued, and I thank you. So we are going to do this every single Tuesday for the whole next year until we get through 52 weeks, whenever the time I started, but we will do it together, which is beautiful. So if you would like to work ahead, you want to kind of skip over a few things that don't seem great. Like myself, I skipped over the muscle activity. I don't really want to do the strength one. But I am continuing walking, and I'm walking very diligent, and I'm drinking lots of water. So even myself, I'm just giving ideas. If you want to do them, you go ahead. But if not, that's okay too. So there, I have a book for this video series, and it explains everything we're gonna do for the next 52 weeks. If you want to support my channel by purchasing that, and you're gonna purchase a little bag that goes with it that lets you know that God is gonna keep you moving through this. But if not, you know what? Just keep watching every Tuesday. Having you here is a beautiful thing. I will link the book below and the bag below. So thank you always for your continued support in all the ways that you guys do. So today's session is about 3 things. A little friendly cleaning to clean our space, trying out a new fun physical activity, maybe, and winding down with some reflective moments in nature. So grab your cup of coffee or tea, get comfy, and let's join this journey together. All right, so we've already gone through, we did our whole kitchen, kind of deep cleaned a few things in there, and now we've gone through our living room and we've kind of decluttered. We cleaned the fine furniture, like the furniture, things like that, and went through any cords and things you had and DVDs. Hopefully you did that. I got a couple of emails from people that said, we got rid of thousands of DVDs and we're all down and compacted. I'm like, that's awesome. So I know we have enjoyed what we've done in here as well. So the last thing left to do is some kind of deep cleaning in your living room. And so I feel like those are the things that kind of get overlooked. Like I forget to do these things, and it's something as simple as cleaning off your fan blades, wiping the baseboards, wiping any light fixtures, the dusting, the part of stuff that kind of just gets kind of like, oh yeah, I forgot, I gotta clean the dust off of that. So when things look overwhelmed or you feel like this is a big task, always start with a quick prayer to the Lord. Thank you, Lord, for this home that you have given to me. Whatever condition it is, whatever state it is, still your place that you live. So thank you, Lord, for the ability so that I can clean it. So please guide my hands, Lord, and clear my heart as I clean things. Always good to have that thankfulness and that gratitude for the things you have. So cleaning does not have to be costly. There are so many different videos. I watch these ones and I'm like, they're so satisfying, and I'm like you don't need all that stuff. Like, yeah, it looks awesome. It looks very satisfying, very good to purchase all the fun new cleaners and that, but I'm like, you really don't need anything. You could just use some dish soap, a bucket, water, and a rag. And that's it, and your house would be just fine. Just fine, I promise you. So for myself, I like to use a few tools. This is one thing that I have purchased, but you don't need this thing. This is a wand to clean my fan blades, because we have a lot of fans. Now we have fans in every single room in this house. And so this has been something, there's hair all over this, that I found is great, because look, you can kind of bend it and it can go over the fan blades. And do you need this? No, you can just climb up on a stool, take your stool from fan to fan and just wipe it with a cloth. That works too. But this works very well right here. So this I really enjoy having. I like using my cleaner. This is the homemade cleaner. It's vinegar infused with the oranges and cranberries, but I put that pink lemonade spray in here. It is a game changer. All day yesterday, everyone's like, what is that smell, Mom? I'm like, I know, it's the pink lemonade. I haven't gone back to Aldi yet. And I'm like, oh, I feel like when I go back, because we do live in an area where there's a lot of people, so I'm sure it's gonna be gone. But if it's still there, that would be awesome, because I will get more. But awesome, right here. So I've got vinegar right here. And then I do like, this is a window cloth. Do you need a window cloth? No, you don't. But if you do like to purchase something good, I would say get yourself a Norwex window cloth. And the reason why is because you'll never have to buy a chemical cleaner ever again. Never again. Never, ever, ever, ever. I don't buy Windex. I don't buy any of that stuff. So what I use is water or vinegar to clean my windows, and that's it. You put a little bit on here, wipe your windows, that's it, and they are clean and perfect. Any kind of chemical you put on the window coats it. It's just like laundry soap, detergents, fabric softener. It coats the clothing is all it's doing, or even the smelly stuff, it just coats it. It doesn't get rid of, like I tell my kids all the time in the bathroom, they're like, well, I'll just put some stuff on there, put some smelly stuff in there to make it smell better. And I said, no. I said, you need to go to the source and find out what the source is. If there's a smell, just covering it up, it's just gonna go away again. So find the source and clean it. So same thing with chemicals. You spray that stuff on the windows, it coats the windows. So if you have to get it off when you start using these, you take it off and then it takes some time to kind of get back to normal. But this we really enjoy. And then I also have a duster cloth too that I got with my Norwex set. And this is nice. We put a little bit of, sometimes we wet the corner of it and just wipe and dust things. We use this every single day. Another thing I found that I use is the magic eraser. I really like the magic erasers. Now, I think you can get these on Amazon. Please let me know. For those of you that have purchased them, I saw they're cheaper on Amazon. I have found that the Mr. Clean brand name ones work better and last longer than like the Walmart version. They don't work as good. So I know that online they have the melamine, I think they call them melamine sponges. Isn't that what they're called? Or am I just thinking my plates? I'm pretty sure that's what they're called, but do they last as long or are they just cheaper and you have to go through them more? I don't know. So let me know. This works really good for scuff marks that you can't get off with the rag. So today we're gonna do some deep cleaning in our living room. So if cleaning overwhelms you, set that timer. If you like a timer to be set a timer, see how fast you can get it done. 15 minutes, shouldn't take you that long to get it done. I always think, okay, it's real quick, I'll be finished. But it's like one of those tasks. It's like the kitchen, that was a big task. That was not done in 15 minutes, but I know that was a bigger one to get done. But now that I've got it done, it feels awesome to get it done. So the living room here, it's not gonna be too bad. It's gonna be a few fan blades. I'm gonna just go through real quick on the floor, dust. It's not gonna be that much work. So whatever you gotta do to motivate yourself to get it done. As I work, I like to think of every swipe of the cloth as a way to welcome God's peace into my home, knowing that I'm caring for my home. And the fan is one of those things that you don't really think about because it's up there, but it does accumulate dust. And so by doing this, it's like, okay, I've rid my house of dirt. The kids are not gonna have to breathe this in. I'm not gonna have to breathe this in. It's like I have cleaned something that normally is overlooked in my days. Other parts of my home that I feel like get overlooked is the top of the windowsills. So I like to go through and wipe the little frames around the windows. There you go. Yeah, I have not even done that here. So that's a good reason to do it. Now in my home, these shelves get cleaned off almost every week. So this is something they do go and dust. So I'm not gonna worry about dusting things, but if you don't, go through and dust those, everything, dust it. Wipe it real quick. I like to take this. You can take what I do. You can use water, but I like this vinegary smell. So I like to do this and spray a little bit on there just to get a little bit damp. Oh, it smells so good. Get some of that pink lemonade and then just go through and wipe everything. That's a good thing. I'm gonna do my baseboards on the bottom because that's something that doesn't get clean. If I need to have a couple scuff marks, I will take my magic eraser and get that off. Okay, you see me bending on the floor and doing this, but what if you don't like to get on the floor on your hands and knees because it hurts? Then take the rag, put it on your foot and just kind of wipe the baseboard with your foot. You can do that. You can also just use a fuzzy sock. Go get a fuzzy sock, a cotton one, and spray it with cleaner. Use that as your cleaning sock. Take your foot, rub it along the wall. Or if that's hard, use like a broom and then wipe it that way, or like a mop, something like that on the floor. You can go through and wipe as well. It seems like it's better to have a little bit more pressure, so I like to use my hand or use my foot because I can apply pressure more than just like on the end of a stick. So as you're cleaning and doing these things, like I did my kitchen, now we're onto the living room area. We have two of them, but like it makes me go by and go, oh, should I wipe real quick out here at the landing, the top of the stairs? And I'm like looking at the stairs, I'm like, I shouldn't. So your brain can start thinking, I want to do this, do that. But to remember that if you have the time, go ahead. But to know that, you know what, eventually I'm gonna get to that, because I just did above my doors and windows and I was like, ooh, that's really bad. And so I completely forgot to do that in my kitchen. And so it made you go, okay, I want to go through and do all the house. If you can, go ahead. But if not, I'm like, you know what? You will get there eventually. So not to let that overwhelming feeling. That's why I'm not doing this series for like decluttering everything all the time. Like every week. It's not like this week we're going to go through and okay, some more decluttering. And let's go tackle the bathroom. That's going to be next. Because I want to give people time to go through and declutter those rooms. So it's been a whole month. How is your living room looking? Is it cleaned out? Do you feel like it's been clean? Like I feel refreshed in my living room. I can look in my living room and go, okay, the couches have been cleaned. I've dusted really well. I've cleaned the floors really well. I've done the light fixtures. I've got my baseboards done. This gets done on a daily basis. I don't have to worry about that. And I'm like, I feel good. Same thing with my kitchen. Even though when I go on my Mondays, you see I might have to clean off front of a cabinet face. And I'm like, okay, it gets dirty. It's going to. My stove, oven, they're going to get dirty again. But I went through all that once. So that's a good thing. Instead of like, I haven't done it yet. It's overwhelming. So knowing you can get through this, isn't that a good thing? So how are you doing? Is your kitchen all done? Did you do good? Let me know. How are you feeling? Are you feeling confident about your kitchen? Let me know in the comments. How about your living room? Do you feel like your living space area? Do you feel like you've gotten through that and got everything pretty much organized? Is there an area in either of those that we didn't go over that you feel you need to do more of in the room? Let me know in the comments below. And as always, when you're doing this, stop and take a moment. Look around and go, okay, look at the work you did. Like, be proud of yourself that you did that. That's a good thing. Be happy inside. Be glad that you've gotten through your kitchen and living room. That's a beautiful thing. And sometimes when you're all done, you can add a nice little decorative touch. Like after you're done with that area, light a candle in your home. It makes it smell really yummy. Put a little flower, whatever kind of thing that kind of sparks like a little bit of like beauty to the room. It doesn't take much. So if you got some wildflowers outside, I'd have my kids go pick me some fresh wildflowers. We don't really have those here in Florida, but when we lived in the country, there's a lot of fresh wildflowers. They'd go and pick a little bouquet, put them on your little ledge, and it's like, that's a beautiful reminder in your home. Or just light a candle. Just smells and changes the atmosphere. It's beautiful. For a healthy routine part of this challenge over the year, it's all about getting a new physical activity rotated into your life. So physical activity is not only great for your body, it's a good thing for your mind, and it's a celebration of what God has gifted to us. Now, I know some of you may have physical limitations right now, and that's okay. But I've found that even the ones with physical limitations find something that they can do in the form of exercise in their days. So as with everything, when you're doing these challenges and you don't know what to do, don't do what I'm doing. Ask the Lord what you can do. Just stop and say, Lord, what activity can I do that's going to honor you? What is going to be best for my body to do? And Lord, also help me to find something that I find joy in doing so that I want to continue doing it. That's all you got to do. It's a very simple prayer. Ask him, and guess what? Then he'll show you. For myself, I've really enjoyed walking. I've been walking. I try to do it almost every day, and sometimes it's just quick, short, lap around our neighborhood, and it just gives me a little bit of time out, but it makes me feel so much better. Sitting out, walking outside, hearing the birds chirping, no one talking, just silence, has been a good reviver for my soul. There's something else I enjoy doing is swimming. I really enjoy swimming. I like swimming. I've always liked swimming, but we didn't really have a pool and like temperatures outside, obviously, to be able to do that all the time. But now that we have it, I really enjoy that. Like as I'm getting older, and weight does occur on my body, it's gonna happen. Over the years, I have, the last few especially, have added some weight on that I know most women, majority of women that I know, kind of go up in weight a little bit and then they'll go back down in weight. I've seen it in my mom, saw it in family members. It happens, not everybody's, but in the majority. So for me, I didn't worry when I'm gaining some weight. Yeah, I'm like, it's gaining, but I'm like, that's okay. I'm still moving. I'm doing what's important right now. I'm not going to stress over it. That's what you do. So I feel like right now I'm like, okay, now I'm being a little bit more diligent, because I feel like I can. If you can't right now because stress is in life or just situations, don't let anything stress you to do that. You do it when the time is ready. You're going to be able to do and handle what you can for your days. And so for me, it's important for me to get out every day and walk. I like doing that. It makes me feel better mentally. It's hard at first. You get out and you're like, oh, I don't like sweating. I hate sweating. That's one thing I don't like. I don't like sweating. I don't like sweating during exercise. I don't mind, like the Florida heat is hot, but if I can jump in a pool, awesome. But just being sweaty overall, I just do not like that feeling. That's just me personally. So the pool is a great exercise for me because I'm like, no sweating, You can move your whole body. You can do different exercises. You can be cool. The sun is out, normally not today, and it just feels amazing. Another thing I like doing is going for bike rides. That's something I like to do, not so much on my own, but with my family, because everybody can go. So I usually make sure I choose the bike with the pedals. And so we do have the electric bikes, but I'm like, okay, just keep pedaling. So I'll make sure that I keep pedaling and keep moving, because it is easy just to push the button and go. But save that for the younger kids that do run around enough. And so that's something that I like to do for my days. Now, you might be more physically challenged to be able to do that, but I know that there's people that they just kind of do a few leg lifts in the couch that they're sitting to get a little bit exercise, and maybe it's more standing and maybe doing a couple arm things. I don't know. It's everybody's in different situations, so you have to do what you can do. I know even my parents, you know, like my dad's getting older and stuff, and so I said, well, it'd be good for you to get outside a little bit and walk, you know. And I said, what about walking down the road and that? And he said, well, I go outside and I walk around the yard a little bit. And I said, there you go, Dad. I said, you're getting out a little bit and walking around. I said, just continuing that movement. And he said, yes. He goes, I don't want to just sit the rest of my life. I want to be able to move and continue to keep moving. So any sort of activity is better than none. And sometimes finding activities that you enjoy doing. I know for my dad, he's old. He's older, but you know what he loves doing? Going and cutting wood. He doesn't need wood. He's got cords and cords of wood. He's got enough wood for me, you, and everybody and down the street for the rest of their life. But it's exercise for him, and he likes to go out, likes to go out in the woods. He likes to cut down the wood. He likes to chop it, pick it up, move it. He's a lot slower than he used to be, but he still enjoys doing it. He says, that's my exercise. I said, there you go, Dad. I said, that's a good thing. It's something you enjoy doing. So you got to find something you enjoy doing, and then it's not going to be such a chore. And I also remember when I had little kids, there wasn't much time to get out and exercise because I was so busy with them. So, you know, we would put on that popular TV show called The Wiggles. Does anybody remember The Wiggles? Okay, those Wiggles, those guys would dance, and they were sweating, and it was tiring. So I would put on The Wiggles with my kids, and we would dance to The Wiggles. That is a workout in itself. Something simple like that. We also did when they were little, after dinner, this was before we even had like little kid shows like that, we would just put on music and the kids would dance and run around in the living room just to get their energy out, because it's important for them to do that, but it's also important for me to do that. So I think of that for my own days. And sometimes it might be just as simple as just standing there, okay, I'm standing here doing nothing, let me do a couple, not crunches, squats. Let me get 20 squats and get that done, okay. Before I take my drink, let me do 20 squats, just to get some kind of exercise in that you can do every day at the same time. The more you do it, the repetition, it helps. And if you do it at the same time as something else, it's a good thing. With my kids, we'd watch The Wiggles every day at a certain time. That was our exercise time. I knew that we got it done. And then I could probably sit on the floor, do a few crunchers, a few leg exercises, and the kids always followed along as well. So there is something that you can do. And I know working at my desk all day long, and I know my husband works at a desk all day long, and so there are some exercises that you can do just to help stretch your body. There's ones you can do for your legs. There's ones you can get up and stand and do a few stretches of your body just to get the body moving of where you're at. There's arm things you can do. It can take 5 minutes of your day. It can take a minute, however long you want, but there are a few things that you can do just to help stretch and move that body in a way that's going to benefit it. And sometimes it's hard to get moving, it's hard to get motivated to do it. Put on some good music, some good praise music while you're doing it will get you through it. I remember when I was walking around our driveway back in the day when I was losing weight after babies, and I think I had 4 songs I listened to, and I liked those 4 songs. I didn't listen to them any other time. This was before earbuds were like they weren't wireless, they were wired. I put them in. No, actually, it was before earbuds. I just had my phone. So I took my phone and I stuck it in. This is terrible. I stuck it in my bra strap under here, made sure it was really tight, and under my shirt, and then I would just go walking, and I would listen to those same 4 songs every day. But it kept me going to go, okay, by the 4th song, I'm going to be done. It gave me something to look forward to. And so same thing with like when I'm swimming in the pool, sometimes I come out here and I'll put on some music, and then I'll say, okay, I'm going to do certain kind of strokes for this whole praise song, and then I'm going to do, you know, a few laps during this praise song or whatever I'm listening to, just to help motivate to get that part continued. Because it's easy to stop. It's easy to have no motivation when you don't have anybody by you. So remember, start small. Whether you're starting some new stretching program, whether it's walking, maybe it's swimming a few laps in your pool, or just dancing with your kids. Every little bit counts. Now that we've refreshed our spaces and energized our bodies, it's time to quiet our minds and hearts. Spending time in nature always reminds me of God's quiet whisper of love and renewal. So today I want to share with you some helpful ways that I do this. when going out in nature. So before you head out, or maybe you're going to stay in, depending on your circumstance, let's start with a little prayer for help. Lord, help me to be still and listen to your gentle voice. Clear my heart and fill me with your peace. Take a few deep breaths with me. That was a good thing to do. Do you feel that calm? All you have to do is stop. Whenever you're feeling overwhelmed and you need that peaceful time, stop for a minute and ask the Lord, just like we did. Take a few breaths and then begin. So today I chose to go to a park with my children. So sometimes out with children is not very peaceful. It might not be relaxing. You might be chasing everybody. So it depends on your situation. My kids are all older, so I can go and walk with them and still look around and enjoy. And I have found that it's so much. It has done a number for myself just to get outside, just to get in nature and just breathe in that quiet. There's nothing wrong with, having earbuds in and listening to things, but just shutting off the world, even good Bible readings and teachings and music and everything else, but just having that quiet, it's doing something for my soul inside. I know it will do the same for you. So we decided to take a walk in a park. As you head out and go to a park, or maybe you're going to sit in a special spot, maybe it's just going to be in your backyard, and it might even just be in a cozy corner in your home. Allow yourself a digital detox. Put your phone away. Shut that phone off. It's okay. Whoever sends a text or a message or a notification, you can get to it later. Just let nature's beauty fill you with wonder. Sometimes when I'm walking or just looking around, I like to write down a few of those things that come to mind or that I see for those quiet moments. It's just a gentle reminder that every little part of our life is touched by God's grace. When I'm walking and I take time for reflection, I ask myself, what do I need to let go of today? It could be a worry, a stress, or even a small disappointment. Sometimes when I'm walking, I feel like the entire time I walk, in my head, I'm mulling over problems. And I'm letting them loop over and over and over. And I'm thinking about things. And I'm thinking about the wrong committed to me over and over and over. And I'm like, that's terrible. I went for an entire walk for 20 minutes and didn't once praise you or ask you or thank you for anything, Lord. I was just complaining. So I had to apologize. Look at that. It's like green birds. What are those? So I think about it now when I go for a walk, and when my mind starts going that way, I right away stop and I start thinking of the good and the thankfulness and the gratitude and the little blessings that we see, just like seeing those little birds. I still think about those little green birds. I'm like, wow, when have you ever seen, I say pet store birds out in nature? I'm like, never. To me, that just like God saying, here, let me give you a little bit of beauty in the mundane of the dull. So maybe in your backyard today, if you're sitting out there, maybe you'll see a cardinal fly up. Maybe you'll see a bird come up, or a hummingbird. I think it's winter, so I don't know if they come, but just the little things and the positivities that God, just that glimmer. Or maybe it's going to be a little flower starting to bud. I don't know. It's those little things that God uses to remind you that, you know what? Growth is coming. Spring is coming. My beauty is still all around. Remember?
They call them razor snakes.
I'll say we had one at our house. The mountains areas. Look at that.
They're good snakes because they kill rattlesnakes.
They eat the little ones. Yep. We lived in the mountains, and so. Remember the black snake that we had in the mountains like that? So scary. Little snake. Look at the snake going. Here he goes. Running. He's going from tree to tree.
Jumping from plant to plant.
Loving it. Look at what he came out. Here's another snake. Scare me. There's another one. There he goes. Go into the woods. So wow, friends, we have done a lot today, haven't we? We've moved our bodies in a fun new way. Hello, swimming for me. And taken precious time to reconnect and detox in nature with God. I hope you feel as refreshed and inspired as I do. So before we say goodbye, I want to thank you again for being here. Over these past 2 months, your stories, your prayer, and your words of encouragement have made these sessions very special for me. I love to hear of the progress you're making. Maybe you're working on something different in your lives. And I love to hear that because it's exciting, because someone said, hey, I finished all 25 cabinets in my house. And I'm like, that's a beautiful thing. So we're going to keep moving forward with things. We're not doing all of the decluttering at once. We're going through the different rooms. We're going to go slowly through it so it's not overwhelming. I could speak through this real quick and get through everything, but we're taking our time so we can enjoy the everyday and not get overwhelmed, and also give time for those people that maybe have more of a kitchen declutter, more of a living room declutter. Maybe they won't go through the deep cleaning phase, but they want to stick through while we're doing it. So that's why it's stretched out a little bit more, because some of us have more. And then maybe it gives the people that don't have as much a little bit more time to reflect and maybe take time to deep clean through this season. So I love hearing the little small changes that you're making in your life. So what is one that you have kept over the last 8 weeks? Let me know something that you have changed in your life. For myself, it's been walking. I am continuing walking every day. I have tried to make it a priority every day to continue walking. The weather stays good, and just keep that as a focus, and to be able to relax and just unwind from my days. And also going through the decluttering. I'm loving going through my house, even though I feel like we've just moved in here, but in 2 years' time, there's a lot of stuff I can still declutter. So those to me excite me, that I'm gonna keep going with this. So give me the steps, one of the steps that you're taking in the last couple months. How do you stay motivated, Amy, when you're feeling overwhelmed? Good question. On those days, I remind myself that every little thing matters. Every little step matters. It might be that I put the timer on, a short timer, or I put on some music, praise music, just to lift my spirit for the day. And sometimes it's more of, okay, God, what do I have to do for the next hour? What can I do for the next 3 hours to get through my day? That has helped me hugely to keep the motivation to keep going, because you know what? I'm human. I'd love to lay in my bed all day long too. But to get up every single day, get dressed, keep going, keep showing up, what motivates me to do that? Okay, God, just getting up, knowing I have a plan and a purpose for my day. That's the key to my motivation. What if I can't get to a park for reflection? That's a good, honest question, because not everybody has the ability to do that. Or maybe it's a little bit chilly where you're at. So you can create your own little sanctuary at home. It might be a little cozy corner in your home. Maybe it's a chair in the corner of your room with the heater turned on, with a little cup of hot chocolate that you can drink. Or maybe it's just going and sitting outside. You might just have a chair that you take outside and sit with. Sometimes taking your kitchen chair outside, if you don't have anything outside, and just sitting in that sun is a good reprieve from the everyday. And sometimes it might just be taking that few minutes looking out the window and stopping and thanking God for the beautiful things for the day. So thank you for always sharing your questions and your thoughts with me. Every act of cleaning, every move, and every quiet moment is an expression of God's love in our life. So let's keep these conversations going. We're building a community here where renewal and strength and heartfelt connections flourish. So until next Tuesday, keep your light shining bright. Keep moving with joy, and keep renewing your space and your spirit. God bless you all, and I can't wait to see you next week. Bye.